Hi Libra. So, fun fact, whenever I do these videos, I prep a bunch and get things put away and all that and kind of fix everything that's going on with me. And then I have to do Libra videos and I'm like, oh cool, I get to hang out and talk. It's like that sometimes with all the signs, but I feel like some signs I feel the pressure of, making it a certain way. But with Libras, I'm like, nah, you guys get my aesthetic. Hey, what's up? How are you? So if you're wondering about my current clothing situation or my room situation, I'm actually in my room from when I was a kid, which is funny that I'm sharing that with you guys. But also I'm wearing these clothes because I'm going somewhere with my parents right after this. So, alright, so since I've talked to you guys about hair before, Jamaica did something kind of funny to my hair where since I've been back, it's been, and it's funny because someone mentioned it today in one of the comments, it's doing great things for your hair. It's been a lot straighter than it's ever been. I don't know, it was really kind of almost dreading itself while I was there. Every time the wind blew, it would get more, tangle in itself. And I was like, wow, my hair has really never been this tangled. What's going on? I understand now why, the braids can be so great. But then when I was wondering, when I got back, wow, what's it going to be like once I, actually am able to, run my fingers through it again. And it was apparently really good for my hair. Whatever it was out there, whatever's in the water, it must be the sulfur content or something. But I hope you guys are following me on Instagram because the aesthetics of where I was are fantastic. I mean, Jamaica was amazing. It was in so many ways life-changing. The company, the friend that I went with, from that to the places we went to the people we encountered, all of it. And I also do certain forms of therapy that require ethnobotanicals. So going to Jamaica and, kind of exploring that world is also really, really important. That's some of the stuff that I do a lot with vets has to do with that. So, why do I tell you all this? Well, last night, why am I doing your reading now? Last night I hung out with my favorite Libra, and we did our favorite thing, which is just to go to a local place around the corner, get something to eat, get something to drink. And I realized that I'd kind of been waiting to open up about Jamaica to anyone until I talked to her first. Isn't that funny? I haven't really spoken about it in the videos aside from saying that I'm sorry that the videos were late and I didn't have internet. But other than that, I haven't really said anything. And I realized it's because I needed to communicate with her first. I needed to tell her first what happened, how it went, all the details. And then once I had kind of done that, I was like, oh, I've processed this now. Now I can talk about it. And that made me think, you know what, I should do the Libra video next because that's something that they'll really like knowing about themselves and will give them some insight into how people interact with them and why people sometimes act the way they do. Because, Libra, I think that sometimes you do feel a little bit used. That ties in kind of with what was going on with you last month where you were, asserting yourself more and standing up for yourself more because you're starting to see where people are pushing, your boundaries too much. And that's great. So, kind of jumping off from there, right? That idea of people pushing your boundaries too much because you are so friendly and you do give off such a comforting, kind of relaxed vibe that people can take liberties with you without, realizing that they're doing it. If you come across someone who's pretty standoffish and quiet and you won't just, go put your arm around them or be physically affectionate with them because you'll think, twice oh, this person doesn't look like they want to be approached that way. You guys give off the opposite, which is hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, I'm out here. We out here, and it makes people super friendly with you. But it can also make people walk over, those invisible lines of politeness and decorum that you guys see very clearly. I mean, you are the most sophisticated sign. You know exactly how to behave. And so when you see people step over those invisible lines that you would never step over, you're like, ooh, what's that person doing? And if they're doing it to you, you're almost kind of too stunned to do anything about it. You're kind of like, wow, my gosh. You know, I think Libras turn into like a middle-aged, like, British woman when something happens that they're like, oh dear. Oh, you know, there's not, you guys get stuck in that moment. I saw that look on my sister-in-law's face last night a couple of times because she was telling me stuff and I was like, oh yeah, you know, so what'd you do? What happened? They said this, what'd you say? You know, and she was like, I didn't say anything. I was just like, you know, very Libra. And then diffuse the situation by saying something funny. So, how does this tie into this month? Well, what's left of this month? I'm really sorry. Like, I don't mean to say that I had a great time in Jamaica to rub it in your face that your videos weren't done. It was just, the world was not cooperating in any way. Like, every single time I tried to get something done with the videos, it was like, I mean, it went from being beautiful weather to really windy to really rainy. Like, there was just no getting around. It was like, the world was like, you need to actually take a vacation. Take a break. So, that's what I did. I took quite a break. So, why do I tell you this? I tell you all this because, one, because I feel very comfortable with you and I feel like I can share it. Two, because what we're doing this month is we're building on the bravery of last month. What you were able to do with the insights of last month is say, okay, there are people, situations, and places in my life where I do need to be more assertive and I do need to exert some sort of an opinion on the situation and say, no, I'm not just going to go along with this situation. I don't like what's going on. I think some of you last month may have pushed that a little too far. It's interesting because you guys are such a sign of extremes and there's very few people who understand that about you. Like, it must be frustrating as a Libra for people to always be kind of joking about you being balanced, where it's ironically, you know, Libras are some of the most unbalanced people when it comes to certain aspects of their life, right? So, because there's just such a duality of mind there, like how we talked about with Cancer last month. There's so much duality in a Libran. Again, tying into last month as well with your reading, the part of you that wants to speak up and say, hey, this is how things should be. Like, be a bit more refined, please. Please don't behave that way. Please build this way. Please use this way. And then there's the side of you that is like, oh, hey, what's up? Hey, you know. So, I think some of you may have pushed those scales a little far in exerting yourself this month, or may have gotten worked up about some situations that weren't as bad as you thought. You know, it's like you come out of this period of like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna win. I win now. You know, great, feeling good, awesome. And then, you know, something like slight happens and you guys like kind of went for it. Which is fine. We're not lingering on that. It doesn't matter. If you held yourself back and really just asserted yourself when you needed to, great. If you went a little overboard, who cares? Great. Other signs go overboard all the time. You know, people will live. So, now, we take that sense of bravery, we take that sense of exerting yourself, and we use it for something even better. What do we use it for? Exploring different areas of your life now. Now, it's not anymore about a partner or friends or even family. Now you apply that bravery to something see, love, art, marriage, partnership. Very Venusian, right? You apply it to your inner self. How? What does that mean? What are you doing with it? You apply it to your inner self in a way where you realize now that if you can fix this timidity in you, if you can incorporate this bravery into yourself, You have kind of everything, right? You have come from a pretty difficult experience. Like, it wasn't easy for anyone 2016, but you guys really had some emotional, like, trauma going on. Like, people were not being good to you. But now, you know, check it out. Now, you got some really good stuff going on. So we're coming out of this time period, right? 8 of Swords, 3 of Swords, and walking smack dab into, boom, 6 of Wands, the World, the Chariot, 8 of Wands, Temperance, the High Priestess, and the 3 of Pentacles. Fantastic cards. Now, what is this saying about moving forward with that bravery incorporated in you now, the way you used it to kind of vet some people and get some situations taken care of? What does this mean now, moving forward? This is obviously, for me, Mars moving into your house of relationships. This is you kind of now pushing through the gunk of a year of feeling betrayed and standing still. Now, movement. Lots of movement. 2 movement animals here, 1 here, the card of speed. Okay, so out of this period we come. Bottom of the deck, things are looking really, really good, right? So out of this period we come. Quickly we move now. And we move with the confidence of knowing, after exerting ourselves in our personal lives and getting some stuff taken care of, putting our foot down where it needed to be done. Now we have a feeling of the world being ours. Now we move with the speed and the emotion of this feeling. Smack dab into what I was talking about. Don't go extreme. Try. Hold back a little, because this is a lot of speed. Right? And of course, it makes sense. You are coming out of a time period that anyone would rapidly like to escape from. So good. So you move forward, and then there's guidance. But be easy, be even. Okay, be easy. Because what happens now is that stability that you thought you had lost, you have it. How? Why? I don't know. I almost want to say that Libra just had to go through it. You'll almost feel like, really? Have we really been fighting or going through all this? Or have I really been struggling with this and now all of a sudden, boom, it's fine? How? What's happened? But it makes sense, right? Because you've got Jupiter in your sign. So this makes complete sense to me, you know? The great benefic is what Jupiter is called. It pushes you. All this great energy and momentum is pushing you into, I think, what you thought you couldn't have anymore. And what's the key? And I will always say this. What's the key here? Self-reflection, meditation. You understand? Because you being clear on where your boundaries are and making sure that people and dynamics respect that leads you to a place where your vibration becomes so high that love and money are attracted to you. You don't need to go looking for these things. Not that Libra ever goes looking for them, because you usually are operating on a very high vibration. But like I said, you know, you're coming out of a bad time here. But it's looking so incredibly good moving forward. And I think it has everything to do with, one, the sky and the way it is, how the planets are, but also those of you who have taken the initiative and done the, I want to say, the brave work, right? Those of you that have done the brave work, of course, there has to be a payoff there, right? Those of you that have finally kind of cracked your shell and said, listen, I need to stand up for myself more. I need to do this. I need to do that. You guys are now being rewarded. And Libra, if you haven't, if you're still here, nothing is saying that you cannot join this party. Let me tell it to you this way. Your destiny, what you're meant to do, right? I don't know why I'm so like that about the frame of things. Your destiny, what is meant for you, what has been put aside for you, what is yours to experience and be given throughout this life. Think of it as a running river, okay? You're in this river, and as long as you flow with this river, you get all these things that you were meant to get, and they aid in your evolution, and you learn more and more from them, you know, and it's telescopic, it builds on itself, and that thing leads to another thing, leads to another thing, and then all of a sudden you're having these huge moments. I'll stop messing with my hair, I'm sorry. And all of a sudden you're having these huge moments of realization and passion, and it's great. When you are in a time period like this, think of yourself as stepping out of the flow of that river of your destiny. Is your destiny still there? Are the things that are meant for you still there? Yes, absolutely, they are still there. You have just taken yourself out of the stream of that flow where you can receive all those things. As soon as you decide to step out of this flow, because this is also a flow, right? This is more of a downward spiral, actually, which is why depression is so dangerous. But once you pull yourself out of that, you know, maelstrom, that whirlpool, and you step back into the flow of your destiny, all these things are waiting for you that were always meant for you to have. And this spread is a really good example of that. Because what it illustrates is the speed with which we recover when we fix our vibe, when we decide, you know what, I am going to exert myself because I'm a person and I deserve to be treated like this, like this, like this. And if you're not going to do that, deuces, we're good. When you have that attitude, which you guys have really kind of taken on last month and you know, most of this month, you can picture yourself when you behave this way, when you put yourself first, you step back into the flow of that destiny, of that river, of all those things that are the experiences, the opportunities, the money, the food, the people, the love that's meant for you to have. It's all there. When you respect yourself and put yourself first and love yourself first, you step right back into that flow and all those things begin to happen to you and you can let that river carry you. Now, does that mean that there won't be dips and bends in it? Of course there will be. You wouldn't learn anything if there weren't. But you will still be in the flow of your destiny. This feeling that we can have, all of us have been there, the absolute pain of it, the agony of that feeling is the agony of stepping out of the flow of what is yours. Right? There's a certain channel, a certain vibration, a certain current that is meant just for you. And as long as you are in it, you feel good. And when you're not in it, it feels terrible. So what Libra is doing this month, and this carries over in a large way here throughout the year, what you're doing is with speed and conviction and confidence, okay? And with the world at your side, supporting you every step of the way. You move boldly into the future now. What makes you the best you? Are you a Libra who doesn't play an instrument? Learn. Are you a Libra who doesn't go to the museum and look at art? Go. Indulge the things about you that make you so beautiful. And keep doing it. And keep setting your boundaries as you come across people who don't respect them. Keep pushing that back. And keep putting yourself out there in that same way in terms of maybe I'll try this new thing. Maybe I'll do this thing. I've got Jupiter. I can do pretty much anything and be really good at it right now. Let me try this. Let me try that. once you take the unnecessary baggage out of your life by telling people who don't know how to act and don't know how to treat you, excuse me, you can go, then all of a sudden you have all this time and space to fill with things that will make you so much more you. And you're already great at being you, you know? So all you'll be doing is really refining something that's already super, super good. Like, it'll be awesome. 2017 for me, for Libras, the way I look at it, it looks so great. And it really is built on the back of your hard work here, of your ability to suffer and still be a good person. Because there are a lot of you who could have thrown people under the bus, Lord. And you didn't. That's what I mean. Very sophisticated, very classy. And you are now being rewarded for this in a beautiful way. So, good job. I'm proud of you. Thank you for letting me mess with my hair and talk about Jamaica and all that. You know I love you guys. And thank you for all the emails for last month's video. I mean, I've so enjoyed getting to know all of you guys. It's been so fun. The Libras I did readings for, we had such a good time. Like, oh my God, I love talking to you guys. It's just like nothing. Like, we get on the phone and it's like I've known you for like 10 years. Like, oh, hey. So if you are interested in getting a reading from me, I'll leave my email in the description below. And you can email me, or you can just email me if you want to just, you know, talk to me. Okay? I will see you guys next month. I love you. Happy New Year. Happy belated New Year. I'll see you in February.